Welcome, everybody, to today's masterclass. I'm really excited about this one, and it's How You Look Matters, how to let fashion and style help you stand out and spread your message. We have got the one and only Ginger Burr, image consultant extraordinaire. Ginger has been an image consultant for several decades, and she helps women from across the globe fall in love with their wardrobe, not by being the latest fashionista or anything like that, but simply tapping into your inner essence, and so that people you can, as the title says, stand out and help you amplify your message. Ginger loves her, knows her stuff and loves her stuff, and she's the author of That's So You. So without further ado, I'm delighted to welcome Ginger Burr.
Oh, thank you, Katrina. I am so excited to do this. As you know, I've been a member of the Vivas since it started, and I have been to every one of the networking events except one, and I always look forward to it, even when it isn't at the easiest time for me to come. So I love now I'm seeing so many familiar names here, and some of you I've known actually for a long time, but really excited to be here. And yes, Katrina, I do totally love what I do, and I have so much to share with you. I'm going to dive right in here, and please feel free to use the chat liberally, share, ask questions. I watch it, and if I miss anything, either put the question in again or Katrina will see it. I want to make sure that I really give you as much value as possible in the time that we have together. So I do have a PowerPoint because what I do is so very visual that I'm going to share that with you. So just give me 1 second to get that all set up here. Okay, and I just want to open the chat box so I can see any questions that come in. All right, so as Katrina says, how you look does matter, and I know not everybody loves to hear that, but it does make a difference. And I'm going to show you how to make that easier and personalized for you. And it's all about letting fashion and style help you stand out and get your message heard. And there's nowhere that I love doing this more than with the vegan community. I mean, I'm all about empowering women-owned businesses. And when it's vegan women-owned businesses, I am even more excited about it. So I want to thank you all for attending today or watching the replay, whatever works best for you. And I hope you get a lot out of this because I have a ton of fun stuff to share with you. I just want to tell you a tiny bit about me because I've been an image consultant for over 30 years, a very long time, more than half my life. And I got into this industry because I personally had no clue how to dress myself. I spent a lot of time in my teens and 20s really agonizing over what to wear and trying to wear what other people were wearing and trying to fit in and trying to make it all work on my body. And somehow, it was very hit or miss. And even when I did have a hit, I didn't know how I did it. So trying to do it again felt almost impossible. And then 16 years ago, I became vegan. And that for me happened overnight. I hadn't eaten red meat in over 40 years, but I can't believe it, but I didn't even know about veganism until then. And the minute I learned about it, I went vegan. And I remember being very excited about it, but also having a moment of panic when I thought, oh my goodness, I'm in the fashion industry. What am I going to do? How am I going to show people what to wear when I'm so limited in what the options are? And, what I decided was, Ginger, just get a grip here and take a breath and look at your wardrobe. And when I really got in there and looked at my wardrobe, I realized that the majority of what I owned was already vegan. And I had this idea in my head that I had a ton of wool and silk, and I had very little of either of those. I did have leather, and that I just switched over. But it made me realize that it's a lot easier than I had thought it was going to be. And I decided to make this a total adventure and to show people that style and veganism can easily go hand in hand, that you don't have to feel like you're deprived or limited. And the other thing about vegan fashion is that people can eat a plant-based diet and they can do it for health reasons, and they can just not even care about the animals. When it comes to dressing in vegan fashion, we do it because we care about the animals, because there really are no health benefits unless you're allergic to one of the fabrics or something like that. But otherwise, it's all about the animals. And it's the other reason I really love doing this and sharing this with people. So let me dive into all that we have to talk about today. And I'm always curious, and really feel free to use the chat box liberally. What's your experience when you get dressed every morning? Do you feel like it's fun, it's creative, it's easy, you get very excited about doing it? Or do you look in your closet and you're completely overwhelmed, you feel confused, you get discouraged, just wear the same thing over and over? I'd love to hear what goes on for you, because, and sometimes it can be one day and one another, but always interesting to hear, where are you on that whole continuum? And I love this quote from Diane von Furstenberg. She says, style is something each of us already has. All we need to do is find it. And that's what I do, is I help women to discover their personal style and who they are, and be able to express that in a way that feels authentic to them. We're going to dive into all of that. So where we're also talking about business, and obviously all that I'm going to show you today can be used for your personal wardrobe as well as your professional image. But why is your professional image important? It's because you are the business. And that is true whether it is your own business or you're working for somebody else. You represent that image. You reflect your image in what you are wearing. And that is, it's really powerful. And I just want to look over here. Okay, so some people are saying that they feel discouraged. I have a lot of clothes, but nothing to wear. Oh, Elena says, I have followed. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. She's followed me for a while. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And Victoria says, since COVID, I look at my closet and think, who has all these clothes? I've gone out once in a fabulous new dress I'm crazy about, but otherwise it's gym gear day in and day out. And you know that there's nothing wrong with that if that makes you feel great. This is really not about trying anybody. And I'm not suggesting that you were saying this, Victoria, at all. But sometimes that's what people think, is they have to dress a certain way. And I'm here to say what you want to do is dress in a way that feels right for you and is appropriate to wherever you're going. And yes, the pandemic has absolutely influenced how we all dress and how we feel about ourselves too. And Carl says, I wear the same thing, t-shirt and jeans in the summer and swap the t-shirt for a jumper in winter. So stuck in a rut. Okay, let's see if we can help you get out of that rut a little bit. So people can't hear what you're saying if they're distracted by what you're wearing. And they're often distracted by what you're wearing if your energy that you're putting out is something like, oh, I don't feel, why did I put this on? I don't feel great in it. It's too tight. It's too something. And they can pick up on that energy. So you want to feel great in everything you wear. And you can boost your confidence and self-esteem by knowing how to make a good first impression. And it's easier to create a good first impression than to overcome a negative one. And many years ago, I heard this statistic. I have no idea if it's true or not, but what it was that it takes 14 consecutive good impressions to overcome a bad first impression. And that's if you even have 14 more opportunities to make a good impression. But even if it's 7, even if it's 3, even if it's 2, sometimes you don't have that chance. And it's a whole lot easier to make a good first impression than have to feel like you have to overcome a bad first impression. And we tend to be a fairly visual society. And so how we look is part of that first impression. Lily, who is a client, says, I wanted to change my wardrobe so I would feel fabulous. There's a little thing up there in the corner. There, I got it over there. I would feel fabulous and comfortable, express my own authentic style, and dress to impress in support of my professional ambitions. And that's really what this is all about, to support you, to empower you, and boost your self-confidence. And your image can affect 2 things. It can affect your self-confidence and your self-esteem. And secondly, really, this is secondary, is how others perceive you. Your self-confidence and self-esteem always come first, because partly what that will do is it'll help you to project positive energy. It'll help you to feel like you've put yourself out there with intention, and people pick up on that energy. And then you have a greater chance of being perceived in the way that you really want to be perceived. Okay, wow, you guys are fabulous in using the chat over here. Getting dressed, Stacy says getting dressed is more along the lines of which sweatpants and t-shirt I want to wear today. But yes, I understand that totally. Patricia says, unfortunately, because of the yes. All right. I'm not going to be able to read all these, or out loud, but tend to live in dresses. Yep. Yes, environment is really hard to shop for with clothes when you have to inspect kitchens. Not too formal, not too black, no buttons, no cleavage. Yeah, sometimes what you do can definitely impacts what you can wear and what's appropriate to wear. Absolutely. All right, whoops, going the wrong way. Sorry, sometimes there we go. So what you choose to wear helps you make a first and sometimes lasting impression. I just wanted to make sure you really got that, which I'm sure you did. And this is Sharon, who says, every single day I feel so much more confident and like I can take on the world. I mean, don't we all want to feel like that? And also every day you make a statement without saying a word. That's because, as I mentioned, we tend to be a visual society, and we can use our wardrobe to express ourselves in a way that we want to express ourselves, and to make that statement with intention when we choose our wardrobe in that way. And Mary Jo says, my eyes were open to the many ways I could improve the way I stepped out to the world. So how do you feel about how you're showing up? And here are some things that I hear from women a lot. And so these are some of the ways in which you might feel about how you are expressing yourself with your wardrobe. You might think I'm rocking my look and my personal style reflects me and my business. I mean, ideally, that's where we all want to be. You might think I do a fair job, and most days I show up in a way that makes me feel good. Perhaps it feels like it takes so much effort to dress in a way that helps me feel confident and authentic, in which case I'm really glad you're here. I'm happy you're here with any of these, actually. I feel lost about what looks good on me. I hear this from women all the time, and the pandemic has only helped to make that even more true. And I compare myself to others and come up short. We've all done that in our lives, I'm sure. I try to disappear a bit and hope that my business will speak for itself. And that's where the tips I'm going to be sharing can really help you to feel like you don't disappear, or to purposely feel like you don't disappear as you put your wardrobe together. All right. It's not just me saying this, even though I've been in business for a long time and I've experienced this with a lot of women. You'll find it out there in many publications. And psychologicalscience.org says the clothes you wear actually change the way you perform. When dressing or grooming, consider what it says about you and whether it's in line with the message you want to communicate. There's no right or wrong. It's all about context. And that's exactly what I was saying a minute ago. And it's also, I'm going to talk a lot more in depth about this coming up, because this is a critical component of putting together a wardrobe you love. And then Inc.com says the question is not whether you care about fashion, it's more about what you're communicating intentionally or unconsciously through your fashion choices. So whether you are doing it by, really choosing with great intention what you wear, or you're just throwing things on because you either don't know what else to wear, or you're in a hurry, or nothing seems to work for you and you're just going to wear what you've been wearing, doesn't matter. Either way, you are communicating something about yourself. So let's try to do it with intention, because that will serve you the most powerfully. All right, so Diane says, I can still feel the amazement and glow after looking in the mirror and realizing that it was me looking back. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know, or we don't know how to make different choices. And to be honest with you, part of that can be because the fashion world is wacky. It's totally wacky out there. And there are so many variables that you can get one right, but then something else doesn't feel right. And so having the tools to be able to put things together in a way that feels cohesive, that feels like you, can make you feel like Diane did and look in the mirror and go, wow, that's really me looking back. Every single, I want to make sure this is really clear here too, that every single example of clothing that I'm showing you here today is vegan friendly. So I just want you to know that that's really important to me. And this was me. back in 1983, and I know this because my little Molly was a kitten back then. I thought I should have been born with curly hair. So I had perms for many years, and somehow it looks like I managed to have a very bad perm here. I also had no clue what to wear at all. And this was just how I showed up because I didn't know what else to do, but I never felt really great in it. And I tried wearing what everyone else was wearing. For years, I lived in Cambridge, Mass. So some of you will, Massachusetts. So some of you will know that that's like what I consider to be the earthy, crunchy capital of the world, has been forever. And I am so not an earthy, crunchy person. Part of me really wishes I was earthy, crunchy, but I'm not. And when I tried to dress that way, because I was in a lot of folk dancing groups, this is the kind of thing I came up with. And here I am at my sister's bridal shower. I'm with my friends Joanne and Joanne. And I remember overhearing my aunt say to my mother, "Why is Ginger wearing her pajamas?" And I just remember throwing my arms up and going, "Okay, I give up. I give up." You know, I thought I was kind of cool. I thought I was being kind of funky. And somehow it just wasn't working, partly because it really wasn't me. Oh, Heather says I was goth. I love that. I love that. That's a riot. And I really tried to fit in. Here I am in, you know, some kind of silky shirt with my collar put up in pink. It's horrible, horrible color on me, just really dreadful. But I was trying really hard. And then this was me probably, I don't know, 30 years ago now. And then this is how I put myself out there now. I tend to be a little bit overdressed. Well, dressed up, I should say, dressed up a little more than other people, but that's me. And I feel good that way. And I don't care what other people are wearing, but this is what makes me feel great. Oh, great. Purple hair, eyeliner, boyfriend with a skirt and eyeliner. Oh my goodness, that is so wild. I was never as cool as any of that. So what does professional dress look like now? Because, you know, if you think about it, for those of you who were around and out in the business world 30 years ago, it was very different back then. A lot of people wore kind of the same things. You know, we dressed like each other, and that was what was expected. But now that's not true. And so you can see, you can see t-shirt and jeans. Depends on where you're going. This is just a very small example of some of my clients and what they're wearing out there in the working world. And this is me. You can see a whole variety. And I know Katrina will love the sparkles on the right here. And I have a lot of different looks, and it just depends on where I'm going, but I always have to feel 100% pulled together. All right, so if just the thought of having to get dressed gives you a headache, or if your body has changed, that's been happening a lot, particularly with COVID, but even, you know, sometimes as we get older, even if we don't gain weight, sometimes our body just shifts, and then getting dressed becomes a whole different experience than it used to be. Or if your frustration with your wardrobe is affecting your self-confidence, then you're in the right place, because we're going to dive into 3 very important tips in putting together your wardrobe. Yes. Can anyone say menopause? Absolutely. Menopause, you know, having children, and just, you know, weight gain, weight loss, any of those things can really affect what you can wear. Sometimes just in general, getting older, many of us aren't going to wear, you know, midriff bearing tops, you know, that maybe we would have worn when we were 20. So it's just a different world and a different way of having to look at our wardrobe. All right. So what if you could feel great every day in your clothes if you're not already feeling that way? That's the goal always. And it's very achievable. So let me be really clear. This is super important, because I know sometimes people misunderstand this a little bit. And for those of you who have been in any of the networking events with me here through the Vivas, you know that hopefully that I am not about you don't have to be fancy. You don't have to be dressed up, and you certainly do not have to be uncomfortable. Comfort is the number one thing for most people when they're getting dressed. And there's no reason you can be as dressy or as casual as you want to be and still be comfortable. And I just want to make sure that you realize that for sure. It's about letting you shine through and fully represent your brand, represent you in an empowering way and in a very comfortable way. So clothing impacts your ability to make an impact, partly because it can also affect your energy and what you project out there. And people pick up on that energy and how you feel about yourself. And if you feel really great about how you look, a lot of times you're more inclined to put yourself out there and be more visible. And that's what we need if we're going to have our brands be more visible to the world as well. I do struggle, Patricia says, I do struggle with what is professional look. I love your hairstyle, but I want colors in it. And I think that is who I am authentically. I love that. I love that. All right. And Diane says, I want to let you know that I am up for a promotion at work. The position is mine if the price is right. And I really think my improved image had a lot to do with being recognized. And you can see Diane, somebody who came to me because she was very frustrated. She had just co-authored a book and she was about to be doing some PR and up for a promotion at work. There was a lot going on for her and she was not feeling fully confident in how she was putting herself out there. So we just worked on that so that she could feel amazing. And she felt that it really made a difference. Come on, hold on here. All right. So what is keeping you stuck? As I've mentioned, it could be your body. Maybe you gained weight or your weight has shifted. Something's happened that, or maybe you've just gotten a little bit older and feel like you don't want to wear what you wore when you were 20 or can't wear it. Don't feel comfortable wearing it. Maybe you can't find the clothes that you love. And this is a biggie, particularly with the pandemic right now. I do a lot of shopping for my clients online and I will suggest things to them. And it used to be the things could sit in the little online closet I have for them for, a week or something, then they could go and look at it. And now I send them an email right away saying, go look at these things because they will disappear. The sizes will disappear. And sometimes it's with everything being so oversized right now, sometimes it's hard if you like things that are a little more fitted, sometimes it's hard to find those things. So we do it. Shopping can be a little more labor intensive. And I don't know about where all of you live, but where I live, a lot of my go-to stores have actually closed. Gone. They're just gone. And that makes shopping a little more tricky too. Maybe you've gotten older and aren't happy with some of the changes in your skin and body. Maybe you don't know how to put yourself together and it just feels like all this wasted effort or frustrating every time you try to put together an outfit and then don't feel good about how it turns out. Maybe you don't like to do it. That's a biggie. Some women are like, I'd rather do anything. Send me to the dentist, but don't make me have to go shopping or put together a wardrobe. And maybe you don't feel you have time. The thing about that is I can tell you that time constraints are never the full reason. There's always something else behind them because in our lives, we always make at least some amount of time for the things that we really enjoy doing or feel like we have success at doing. So who wants to make time to shop if you never feel like you come away with anything that you love and that you feel excited about wearing? All right, and Lily says, I wanted to change. I think I already had this in there. I had it in there twice. Sorry, don't know why that happened. All right, so are you ready to step into clothes that express who you are with more confidence and less stress? That's what it's really about. Let's make this more fun to get dressed. So where do you begin? So how do you show up as your brand? I just want to get into this before I share the 3 tips. Think about, you can share this if you want to in the chat, but definitely think about this while we're going through everything. What is your brand? How do you want to share that visually? Your visual presence, not how you want to put your actual brand out there. You are your brand, those 2 things. And then what do you need to show up for? Are you out there networking, whether in person or virtually? You want to be seen. You want people to remember you. So they think of you the next time they're looking for whatever it is that you offer. Maybe you have meetings with clients. Maybe you're doing presentations. Maybe you're on TV or video, or maybe all of the above. And the last thing you want to do is be spending inordinate amounts of time trying to prepare for those things. When if you have those clothes in your closet and you have looks put together, you can just reach in and pull them out and feel ready. So a professional image look pulled together, aligned with you and your brand, and comfortable. Can't stress that enough. So think about these questions while I share the tips. What's your business or your brand? How do you want to be perceived? And is what you're wearing reflecting how you'd like to be perceived? And does it boost your self-confidence? Really important. And if you want to, you can look at, if you're in your business mode right now, you can look at what you're wearing right now and apply these things to what you're wearing. Yes, reduce decision anxiety. Absolutely. Decision fatigue is a big thing. I'd have a video about that on my YouTube channel. Absolutely. Perfect, Heather. All right. So there are 3 simple ways to change an outfit from ho-hum to wow. One is color. The other is fit and body shape. And that's particularly important when you're meeting in person. It's a little less important when you're only being, this much of you is being seen online, of course. And then personal self-expression, a critical component of creating a wardrobe. Come on. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. All right. So step number 1 is wear colors that make you look and feel radiant. And this, when I started in this business, I was taught about color, makeup, and style. And the color really grabbed me. And this was back in the late 1980s when the whole Color Me Beautiful craze was out there. And I was taught by the seasonal color system. That's not what I do now, but that's how I was introduced to the whole concept of color and how powerful it was. Now, when I was growing up, my mother wouldn't, because I have red hair, my mother wouldn't let me wear red or pink in particular because they clashed with my hair. And so when I moved away from home, I'm not a very rebellious, at least in this way, person. And so the one rebellious thing I did in my life was wear pink and red. And I realized after going through this workshop that I went to learn about color and my colors, that red and pink are so totally dreadful on me and don't go with my coloring at all. And I remember that after she did my colors, and, she told me I look good in things like olive green and mustard and, orange. I thought, I don't want to wear those colors. And so I finally said to myself, Ginger, you trust this woman, go to the store and look for some things. So I didn't have any of those colors in my wardrobe. And I went to the store and I bought something in olive green. And I remember looking in the mirror and saying, oh gosh, my mother was right. I look good in olive green. I was so kind of mad there for a minute. And then I realized that I really needed to pay attention because I could see the difference was incredibly powerful. So wearing colors that make you look and feel radiant. Let me just show you some examples. A lot of us default to black in particular, and then also sometimes to gray because we get sick of black. And I'm definitely here to tell you that not everybody looks great in black and gray. I'm one of those people. And this Diane was one of those people as well. And she didn't feel like she was radiant, like she was really expressing her best self. She felt like she had to work so hard. I mean, this is an example of Diane's color palette. And she has other wonderful neutrals in there, but not black and gray. And when she put on this beautiful pink, it was just one example of how she could change how she felt about how she looked just by changing the color. Now, granted, I know she has jewelry on and all that stuff there, but even if she didn't have that on and she just changed the color, it would make a big difference. And here is Laura. Yellow is so not one of Laura's colors. There's a lot that's not right about this outfit. I'll be showing you that in the next section. But this is Laura's color palette, way different from Diane's. And she needs these beautiful, rich teals and charcoal grays, and she can even do black. All of those kinds of deep, rich, intense colors work for her, not these light yellow colors. Definitely just drain her of color. All right, I think we missed one here. Sorry, my thing gets testy sometimes. All right, this is Mary Jo. And Mary Jo on the left, you can see she's wearing a very, very bright pink, definitely not her pink, and then pastels. For Mary Jo, pastels just drain her of color. And that bright pink is not her, it's too cool. Her coloring is much warmer. She needs these beautiful, warm, pinky russet colors and brown. Those look amazing on her and very authentic for her. And Prema here, she doesn't look terrible in this sort of dusty blue-gray color, but it doesn't make her light up in the same way that this aqua color does. And then the other way we have is Sue, who these colors are way too bright, way too intense, completely overpowering on her. She needs softer colors that really resonate with her natural coloring. And I'm going to show you another example. If she wants to stay within the pinks, she needs a little bit softer, warmer, and not these big giant blobs of fuchsia and this celery green, which is actually a really hard color to look good in. She needs these warmer, a little slightly warmer tones, but just softer. Mostly it's just softer for her. Now, if you're thinking, but I don't have a color palette like you saw that some of these people do, what do I do? And so I want to share 4 colors that I have found tend to look good on almost everyone, and at least better than some other colors. Like light gray is one of the hardest colors to wear and not look and feel totally drained of color. Teal is one of those. You can see I'm wearing teal right now. Teal pretty much looks good on everyone. And maybe you're a little bit darker teal, a little bit lighter teal, but teal is a totally gorgeous color. It's a blue-green, just really beautiful on everyone. When in doubt, look for teal. Forest green is another one, just a really beautiful. The one I'm wearing is a little more towards emerald, but you can see the forest over here, anywhere right in there. These are colors that tend to look good and will just accentuate and enhance someone's natural coloring. Watermelon. This one's a tiny bit bright. It doesn't have to be as bright as this, but the thing about watermelon is the color is right on the cusp of warm and cool. So it's not too cool, it's not too warm. So if you're not sure what your best pinks are, that sort of watermelon color can look good. Even if it's not your absolute best shade of pink, it'll look good. Heather says, I like bright red and bright yellow, not necessarily at the same time. All the designers just seem to bring in gray. I hate brown. Okay, I love it, Heather. You really know what you love. I love that. Oh, Katrina, your PJs are watermelon. Yay for watermelon. Love it. And the other one is periwinkle, that kind of blue purple. It tends to be hard to find. Believe me, it's just beyond my understanding of why more designers don't bring in periwinkle, because it is a gorgeous color on almost everyone. Some shade of it looks good on everybody. And yet we don't see a lot of it. So what I tell my clients is when you see it in a style that works for you and all that kind of thing, grab it, because who knows when you'll see it again. So for deciding what colors are good, do you consider skin tone or eye and hair color too? Oh, yes. Eye color, hair color, skin color, and also personality. All of that figures into it. Hair color being one of the most important, partly because it takes up so much space here, but also because if you change your hair color after you've had a color palette done, or you've filled your wardrobe full of colors that look good with that hair color, and then you change your hair color, it can many times dramatically affect the colors that look good on you. We saw a lot through the pandemic, women deciding who couldn't get to the hairdresser, deciding just let their hair go natural, go gray. And then they realized that a lot of the colors they had in the wardrobe didn't work for them anymore. And it meant really reassessing what colors would work with their new hair color. So yes, hair color, eye, skin, personality, those are all the things. What if you've got a shaved head? Well, so then we look at eye and skin, and sometimes the eyebrows, unless you have alopecia and don't have any eyebrows either, but eyebrows can figure into that as well. So yes, and if you're going to be growing your hair back out again, I would often recommend waiting until you at least have a little bit more hair growth before we do it, or before you have it done, so that when you do let your hair grow again, if you decide to do that, that it will work for that. So you don't have to go create a whole new color palette or a whole new wardrobe. All right, step number 1. Knowing what colors look great on you, I put this first because it is such a powerful step. And if you do nothing else, color will make such a difference. It makes you look radiant every day when you wear colors that look great on you. You don't have to try hard. You don't have to change your makeup to make the color work. You don't have to, try to pinch your cheeks to just feel awake. You will just look great. It helps you to shop more easily because you don't have to look at every single color that's out there on the planet. You look for the ones that look great on you. And it makes you able to mix and match your wardrobe with great ease, because when you stick to colors that look good on you, they just go together naturally. And so you can have fewer clothes and more outfits. All right. And you never have to compromise ever with color. Beautiful colors can be found for every body size and shape and at every single price point. And something else I was just going to say about this. Oh, I know what it is. A lot of times my clients say, oh, but I'm having such a hard time finding burgundy or whatever it might be. And so what I tell them is, well, if it's not out right now in this particular season, focus on a different color, a color that does look great on you, that is out, and wait a season or two until that color comes back. And do not buy a color just to buy something. I teach some online classes, and there was an online class, and I encouraged the women to share photos and ask questions. And one woman came to the class in a gray sweater. And I said, that's not usually generally a color I would have chosen for you. And she said, no, I wouldn't really either, but it only came in black and gray, so I had to choose one. And I said, well, maybe there's a third option there, and that is not buying it. So sometimes we feel when we go to the store that we have to buy something, or, oh, that's the only colors it comes in, so I have to choose one. And I encourage you, don't do that. Wait until you can find the colors, the style, all the other things too, but focusing right now on color that really look great on you. And if you walk into a store and it doesn't have the colors that look amazing on you, leave the store. Wait 2 weeks, a month, till they have more things in, go back and look again, or look in a different store, or wear what you already have, hopefully in great colors, and stick with that until you can find the colors that look great on you. So step number 2 is about fit and body shape. And one of my clients says, I get confused about the rules that I read about styles that flatter certain figures and face shapes, et cetera. And I never can figure out what category I actually fit into. Because my body seems to be a mishmash of several types. That can be so true. We can get overwhelmed by the whole concept of body shape. And there's so much conflicting information out there about how you dress particular body shapes that it's one tiny aspect of creating a wardrobe. And so I encourage you not to get too caught up on that. I'll get into this a little bit as we go along, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about fit in general. So Heather says, how to dress up a nicely fitting t-shirt. I have 2 in my favorite color. I thought a black on top makes it formal, but it's still a t-shirt, best of both. So what you want to make sure with that, Heather, is that the t-shirt fits you beautifully, that everything about it is flattering, the neckline is flattering, sleeve length, all of that is really flattering. I encourage you, if it doesn't fit beautifully, to have it tailored. Even if it's just a t-shirt, it'll make a big difference. And then you can add a scarf, you can add a jacket over it, you can add a cardigan over it, you can add a necklace or earrings or jewelry or something with it to add a little bit of visual interest. But t-shirts can be great layering pieces for sure. Oh, Sevi says, body shape is my biggest struggle. It can be for many women because what they do and I'm going to show you some examples of this, what they do in the fashion world is, first of all, they are sharing the fashions on tall, thin, young, straight bodies, or wider shoulders, slimmer hips, not pear-shaped, not hourglass, although plus size women, they often show hourglass, which that is not always a typical shape that many plus size women have. And so again, you run up against the issue of, oh, it looks great on her. And then you put it on, you go, well, how come it's not working on my body? And there are many different reasons that could be true. It could be color, it could be the fit, it could be the balance of the outfit, and it could be body shape. It could be a number of things. All right, so this is an example. What you see out there is not always what you get when you put it on yourself. So what I did was I took an outfit. So this is an outfit here on the model, who's probably 5'10", and she looks really cute. I couldn't show you this top because it actually doesn't exist. It's at the bottom of the ocean because the crate it was in fell off the ship and went into the ocean. So I chose another top. Didn't really matter which top it was, but let me show you. Here's what I look like in that almost exact outfit. Look at where the jacket comes on her versus where it comes on me. It's not, I think it looks really adorable on her. I do not feel adorable. I do not feel good in this outfit at all. But if what I did was walked into a store and said, I want to try that on and then put it on, I would have to look at why doesn't this work? The green color is actually pretty good on me, but the fit of this outfit is totally wrong for me, not showing my body shape well at all. And it also doesn't figure into what I'm going to talk about in step number 3, which will be coming up in a minute. So let's talk more about balance and proportion and fit. So this is Kate. And when I was doing a wardrobe consultation with Kate, she had this dress that she had purchased. She said, I've never worn it. And can you just tell me whether I should get rid of it or not? And so in looking at it, now I know we're talking about fit and balance here, but in looking at this, the colors in here are totally wrong for her. So just on that basis, it doesn't work for her. Secondly, see this little wrap, this little twisty thing here? It should be at her waist, not down here on her hip. So the fit of this garment is not made for her. It's made for somebody probably much taller, I guess, because that needs to come up, or maybe longer waisted or something, but not for Kate. And so she needs something, hopefully you can see it. This has these wonderful diagonal lines that hit right at her waist. Perfect fit for her. Right, and Heather says, any recommended tips for girls that don't do heels? Trousers often come too short, go up a size, and they get shorter. Ugh. Pants right now are a big problem because a lot of what they're showing are ankle length pants, or a little above the ankle. And it's not necessarily flattering on everyone. If you go to my blog post, if you go to my website and go to a blog post, you'll see one there, or it's all over my social media as well, where I did a whole article about how to wear cropped wide-legged pants. And I walked you through all the steps of what I did to try to make an outfit that would actually look halfway decent on me. So if you don't do heels, you just have to be careful about any pants that are too wide, like wider trousers, wider flared pants, or a stronger boot cut, because anything that's a wider leg needs at least a little bit of a heel, or else it feels droopy on the bottom. So I would say stay with more of a straight leg if you don't do heels that way. And you have to look around. There are pants out there that will come longer than what they're showing if you don't like the cropped leg, but there's a lot of the cropped leg out there. Here is Marianne, and Marianne has a very curvy body. And what she's doing is she's got a very boxy top on. Makes no sense with her body shape. She looks great in belts. She looks great in fitted jackets or tops or whatever it might be. She looks better in a little bit of a tapered skirt rather than a skirt that just hangs down. This just makes her look like a big box. And so she needs things that follow her body shape. So if you have a curvy body, you have to be really careful with some of these very boxy looks that are out there. And here is Laura. This dress, you already know the colors aren't right, but there is nothing about this dress that is showing off Laura to her best. It's there. The fit on it is totally wrong. Sleeves, these little tiny cap sleeves, not flattering. They actually balance pretty much no one's body. And they often hit at a part of the arm that a lot of us aren't that wild about. The neckline is a little too low and droopy for her, and the bottom of this is way too droopy. So what I did with my limited Photoshop skills is I made it sleeveless, which is a much better look, shortened the neckline and made it not quite so wide on her. I shortened this dress. I actually would have liked to shorten it a little bit shorter, but that was really going to test my Photoshop abilities a lot. So a little bit shorter would have been even better. And then these shoes are totally the wrong color and way too heavy in general for this dress. So I tried to make them a little less heavy. Couldn't do anything about the color, but make them a little less heavy by taking out one of the straps. So it just gives you a little idea about the difference that could make. But let's get her out of that dress completely. Let's put her in something that really works for her. And if you look at her height, same length here, look at how much taller she looks in the outfit on the right versus the one on the left, because all the focus goes to the bottom here. We want the focus to come up here. All right, let's come back here. All right, so here's an example also. A lot of times what we see in outfits is they put, when you're shopping online, and this is just a little tip for when you're shopping, is they sometimes put the models in these really cute little movements and just positions. And so this is adorable. So what I did was I put on pretty much the same outfit in the same position. And it actually doesn't look too bad on me. But if I just stand straight in this outfit, this is what I look like. And I feel completely droopy, icky in this outfit and would never wear, there's another reason I wouldn't, and I'll show you that in a minute, but I just feel totally droopy in this outfit. And unless I'm going to stand in this position all the time, I'm not, and who wants to do that? I am not practical. I'm not going to wear this outfit because I won't feel great in it. No, sorry. All right. So one of the things Sharon said, again, this is coming back to body shape and what we see in the stores and how we sometimes beat ourselves up a little bit about this. She says, I think the most important thing I learned from my closet clean out was that it's the color or the fit of a piece of clothing that may not look great on me. It's not that there's something wrong with me. It feels like a true revelation. I feel like a new part of my life is starting. So if something doesn't fit you right, it's just that the fit model wasn't in your type of body shape, or it's just not an outfit that's meant for you. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. So when you dress in a way that honors and celebrates your body, really, you'll feel so much better in everything that you wear. And a tailor is one of your best friends because you don't necessarily have to wear something the way it was intended to be worn. Now, step number 3, and this is one of the most powerful ones of all, and I work a lot with my clients on this, and this is where your heart and your soul meet the practical needs of your wardrobe, and this is the number one thing you need to have a wardrobe that makes your heart sing, and that is expressing your inner beauty, who you are at your essence, your own personal self-expression. So this is Carol. Carol owns a women's gym. And she has to dress in black a lot, but she's somebody who has spirited elegance. And when she was in this outfit on the left, she didn't feel particularly spirited or even all that elegant. So she had to find ways to add jewelry, add fun shoes to the look, and have clothes, even her workout clothes have to be a little bit more fitted so that she would feel great in them. And she had also found that she was just tending to wear those even when she wasn't working. And she realized that that did not work for her. It did not really express who she was. And you can see her over here on the right in something that really feels much more authentically her. And you remember about Diane and how she was going to be much more visible. So she just felt a lot better when she could express one of her inner beauty words. All of my clients I work with get inner beauty words, who they are at their core and their essence. And Diane is a delicate, natural beauty. And there's nothing delicate about this look on the left, nothing delicate about it, color-wise, fit-wise, style-wise, none of it. And it doesn't mean she always has to wear pink. It just means she has to have detail and fabrics and all of that have a softness to them, like this little linen top, linen, I think it's just linen, but it might have a little cotton in it too, a sweater that she's wearing there. Or Jackie, who is one of her inner beauty words is that she's richly expressive. Now, there's nothing wrong with this outfit on the left, but does it feel richly expressive? And for her, just wearing some of her really yummy colors immediately brings out that richly expressive for her. And Sharon, there's nothing wrong with Sharon's before outfit. It's fine. And she felt fine, but Sharon didn't want to feel fine. She wanted to feel amazing. And one of her inner beauty words is that she's naturally radiant. And she did not feel radiant. I mean, she has a really radiant smile no matter what, but she did not feel radiant in this outfit at all. And on the right, she calls this her angel shirt. And this was a shirt that when she put this on, she immediately felt naturally radiant. And she would have complete strangers stopping her on the street to tell her how amazing she looked. And she thinks it's just the top. And it's not just the top, although the top is really pretty and looks beautiful on her. It's because she felt naturally radiant because of how she felt in that top, and people were picking up on her energy, her authentic energy. And this is Jan, she's grounded, she's open-hearted. There's nothing grounded about this top. It's bold, it's a little unconventional, crazy, maybe, I don't know, maybe whimsical, I don't know. And the color is totally wrong for her. They're too cool. Her coloring is way warmer. She needed the softness of this top on the right to express her grounded open-heartedness. And Laura, one of her inner beauty words is that she's complex. She's also steely, which for her means determined. And there's nothing steely about the design or shape of this dress on the left. And yes, it's complex, but then we go back to one of the other steps, which is color. And color-wise, it doesn't work. You want both of those things to go hand in hand. When she chooses colors that look amazing on her with the complexity of that print, she felt amazing. And you remember Kate, one of Kate's inner beauty words is orderly beauty. There is nothing orderly beauty about this dress. It's kind of chaotic. And not that she only has to wear solid colors, she doesn't. I have pictures of her in prints as well, but there has to be an orderliness to them. And Mary Jo, she is genuinely open-hearted. She has a softness about her. She had to work too hard to make this top on the left even, I mean, you can get a glimpse of it just from her pose and her facial expression and all of that, but her clothing was not supporting that genuinely open-heartedness. And she's also effervescent. And again, she had to work too hard to make that. And if you could see her earrings, definitely add a touch of effervescence. So here I am in this outfit. How would I change this outfit? Because one of my inner beauty words is controlled fire. And this outfit, while all these colors actually do work for me, it's a little out of control. It's a little more than I would actually want to wear. Yes, I could pull it off. Do I feel totally authentically me in it? No. I like something that's a little bit exquisite is also one of my inner beauty words. I need something that has cleaner, softer, more just not so busy words, styles in order to feel authentically like myself. And this is not me, this one on the left. Too oversized, too sporty, too casual, too something. It's definitely not me. If I'm going to wear this kind of a very casual look, I'm going to put on one of my favorite faux leather jackets and that same top, but pulled together in a different way. And I don't do a belt like this because I feel like a blob with a big belt around my tummy area. Yes, sew some darts in the back and pull it straight. Yes, it would work better that way. Definitely true. Do I love it enough to do that? I don't. But if I did, I agree with you. That would definitely make sense. And then our illustrious leader, Katrina, dressing authentically in all of her gorgeous sparkles. And you could see she was wearing sparkles today too. Even her shoes, I love it. This is who she is. This is how she puts herself out there in her gorgeous radiance, and totally love this pose. Amazing. All right. So what do you want your clothing to express? And this is a very, very long, much longer consultation. We only have a couple minutes left. But just think about, who are you? Who are you? Not what do you want your clothes to say, but who are you? And then use that information to create a wardrobe that feels genuinely like you. And you can take a screenshot of this. This is a small fraction of the number of adjectives that you actually could use to express who you are, but it can get you started to think about it. And Prema says it's about learning how to present ourselves to the world in a manner that reflects who we truly are on the inside. And really that says it all. The other parts, this comes first, and then color and fit and, mixing and matching and all of that comes second. So when you dress in a way that speaks to your heart and soul, you'll love how you look every day. You'll feel so excited to get dressed. And so this is just a quick thing, because I find that a lot of women do settle for good enough when they're out there shopping in the world or putting together an outfit. So as you're putting together your outfit tomorrow or the next time you're shopping online or in the store, ask yourself these questions. Do you love it? Does it spark joy? If you want to go by the whole Marie Kondo way of thinking about it, do you love it? Does it make you feel amazing and beautiful? If it doesn't, do not buy it. Do not put it on. Get rid of it. Does it fit? And if it doesn't, are you willing to have it tailored so that it really does fit you well? Where are you going to wear it? These days are the places we wear things, it may be more limited. Maybe it's not, but maybe it is. So you have to think about where you're going to wear it to make sure it actually has a place in your wardrobe. And then can you complete the outfit? I've seen so many women put together outfits and then they go to put on shoes and they're like, oh, well, that doesn't work. I don't feel great in that. So remember, shoes are part of the whole complete outfit. So you want to think about everything and can you complete the outfit and feel great about it? And then I just want to give you a few quick ideas. The Kettlewell has become one of my clients' favorite places. It's a UK-based company. They do a ton of color. So if what you're looking for is to add color, Kettlewell is great. And even to the US, they have a free shipping and free return thing. So worth looking at. And all of these have many, if not all, vegan options. Nick and Zoe, this is a really pretty sweater that they have there. Most of, not all, but most of what they offer is vegan friendly. Toad & Company is kind of a fun one that I found with more sustainable fashions. And Torrid, I just love the color of this blouse. So beautiful. And then Elizabeth & Clark, this is a vegan silk top that comes in a number of colors. They're based in New York. NZ Repertoire, based in Australia. And New Zealand, New Zealand. And I know this is Katrina's jacket. And she does all kinds of new fabulous things. Not all are vegan, but definitely worth looking at. And then Benedetti Life is in Slovenia. And she is a vegan fashion, sustainable fashion designer making stunning things, definitely at a higher price point, but absolutely gorgeous fashions. And I just want to say price is never, ever, ever an issue. You can shop anywhere. I did see someone briefly mention that they shopped in resale, consignment, whatever you want, thrift, whatever you want to call it. And you can find incredible things there. You use the same tools to make those choices. And this comes from a store that actually they still have an online component, which I don't think it's as good, but they used to have stores called Dress Barn. And I think she paid maybe $30 for that top. This is a little faux leather crop jacket, was a few dollars. It was not very much. And she can wear it with a ton of things. And this is a jacket that I found in consignment for 20 bucks. I did put about $15 into it to make sure it was tailored exactly to me, but it's super comfortable. And I was so excited to find it because it's in a gorgeous green. And Diane, I just wanted to reiterate this. She says, I can still feel the amazement and glow after putting on that first dress and looking in the mirror and realizing that it was me looking back. So this is Diane before. One of Diane's inner beauty words is that she's an indomitable firecracker and she's brightly spirited. Nothing about the before outfit says that, but it all says it here on the right. She just felt so excited. And oh, Karen, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. Thank you. Yes, definitely look into Kettlewell. I haven't looked at their non-leather biker jackets at all. You can also, one of my favorite ones, if you saw my, the coppery colored faux leather jacket that I had on before, depending on where you live, I think you live far away. There's a company called Clara Sun Wu, and Clara Sun Wu does something called liquid leather. It's not leather. And she comes in a number of different styles and a number of different colors, super comfortable, really pretty. And remember me from years ago, I just want to share what would have happened if I had not learned the things that I've learned now. So I encourage you, use these tips to start making some changes if you're feeling frustrated and stuck with your wardrobe, because it pays off. And the same thing with all of these. You can see the difference between Laura and Jackie and Amanda. Oh, you're in the UK. Okay. You'd have to check to see if Clara Sun Wu is sold there or ships there for sure, but she has some really cute things. And Prema says, I was not losing anything, but rather was gaining the freedom to express myself in a more genuine way. That's really what's true about exploring all the possible ways to create a wardrobe that you love. And I just wanted to quickly share this because we had this in the promotion about it, and that is 3 style beliefs that will keep you stuck forever. One is that good style is uncomfortable. As I shared, it does not have to be at all. You can be dressy or not dressy and be comfortable always. You have to conform to be taken seriously. No, you want to be authentic to you. You want to express yourself always. And your wardrobe has to cost a lot. As you know, it does not. And 3 steps to style your brand. These are what we just talked about. Wear your most flattering colors. Good fit is really important. And if you don't have a great tailor, definitely find one, ask friends. If you're in the US and need a name of some tailors, I do have a lot in this area, New England area, and I have some throughout the country if I can help you with a tailor. A lot of tailors are very overworked right now because some went out of business through the pandemic, and so they can take a while to get things back to you, but it's always worth it. And then choose styles that express your authenticity. Always, it has to feel like you in order for you to feel really good in what you're wearing. Oh, and then above all, never, ever, ever settle for good enough. It'll never pay off, and you'll end up with a whole wardrobe that's just good enough. And life is too short to not have, and I know Katrina will back this up, to not feel great in what you're wearing. And you don't need a massive wardrobe. You just need enough outfits to make your lifestyle work and in clothes that really make you feel great to get dressed. If you aren't already following me, I know some of you have been following me on social media and stuff, you can get my little ebook, How to Stop Wasting Money on Things You Never Wear, on my website. I have the blog posts, including that one about wearing cropped wide-legged pants. I have a lot of videos on YouTube. I have a free Facebook group, Your Total Image with Ginger, and various classes and things. There's lots of stuff out there that I have available for you to explore. And if you're someone who would, Heather, perfect timing. If you need a personalized color palette, this can be done in person in my home studio here, or it can be done I'm just north of the Boston area, and it can be done virtually. I do tons of virtual color analysis. I have very specific ways you have to send me photos, very specific ways of having you send me the photos, and we meet briefly on Zoom so I can get to know you a little bit, because as I mentioned, your personality figures into it a bit. And if you do your color analysis in the next couple of months, you can use the coupon code COLOR50 to get $50 off a color analysis. And if you have any questions about it, how it works, any of that, just shoot me an email. Happy to chat with you about it and share kind of how it works and answer any of your questions about it too. And I'm happy to answer any other questions. Yes, fast brain. I love that. I love that. And I want to thank you all for being here today. And Katrina, thank you for inviting me to share. It's really a pleasure to be here and to work with you.
Oh, Ginger, thank you so much. You are so fabulous, and I've learned so much from all of that. And I think most of us everyone on the call on the webinar has. I don't know if anyone's got if you want any kind of last minute questions. I know people are saying it's brilliant. I've got a very quick question, which I hope will be useful for people, and it's about shopping online, because and I was nodding away when you said, like, sometimes you can go into a shop and it looks fabulous on the hanger, and then you put it on yourself and you're like, oh my God. And not everyone wants the hassle of, okay, you can buy it online, but then if it doesn't fit, you've then got to package it up, you've got to go to the post office, mail it back. Like, there's a lot of hassle in this. So I'm wondering, is there any tips you can offer for online shopping? Because clothes for me are things I don't really enjoy shopping that much, but when I do, I want to kind of look at it and make sure that it fits. So do you have any tips, considering the way society is changing? Good. Stephanie's saying she was asking the same thing. Wonderful. Any tips on how we can get online shopping right so that we're minimizing having to send things back? And I hear what you're saying about the tailoring. I'm lucky. My wife, Tracy, is my personalized tailor. She's just gotten into sewing, and it's so fabulous, because I'm like, great, we can get that and you fix it. But apart from that, are there any ways that perhaps we can get it right as much as possible when we're trying to buy stuff online?
Okay, so yes, right now, online shopping is really, in a way, the way to go, at least around here, because so many stores have closed, and those stores that are open don't stock as much. So online shopping, and yes, I hear this from a lot of people, they don't want to have to ship things back. And I'm going to be a realist about this. You will need to return at least 50% of what you buy. So that is just, no matter what you're doing, that's just a given, because you don't really know what the fabric's going to feel like. Sometimes they lie about the sizing. Sometimes the color isn't exactly what you thought it was going to be. But when you do have the tools, when you know what colors you're looking for, when your basic fit, okay, that's going to be too boxy for me, then you won't buy it. Or, it could be tailored, so I'll get it and see if it can be tailored. There's another tool out there called the Fashion Fit Formula. And this is something that you can take 12 vertical measurements. And if anybody wants to know about this, it's on my website, but I can always help you to measure yourself if you're not near me. It's one of the most invaluable tools. So for instance, I was buying a top at Banana Republic. The color is this gorgeous olive green. And I was looking at the sizing and I thought, ooh, how long is it from the shoulder to the bottom? And they said it was like 23 inches. And I thought, no, I know because of the Fashion Fit formula, mine needs to be 25 inches in order to hit me at the right place to feel balanced. So I had to get a tall. I'm only 5'6", so I'm not exactly what you would call tall. And I had to get a tall in order for it to fit me right. But if I had purchased the one that was not a tall and not known that particular measurement, I would have had to mail it back. Instead, I got it, it fit, I didn't have to do anything to it. It was the right length. So there are certain things that you can know about yourself, and you always want to fit the largest part of your body, whether that's shoulders, bust, tummy, hips, whatever it is, fit the largest part of your body with the outfit, and then the rest may have to be tailored. But you do have to be prepared to do returns. So start at the places that offer free shipping and free returns and make it the easiest for you, and then branch out from there if you absolutely have to.
Brilliant. I love that. Some great tips there. Yes, someone, Karen's saying Fashion Fit is huge for more success in online shopping. And also for US folks interested in secondhand, ThredUp is a great shipping and return policy. And
Yes, I purchased a lot of things at ThredUp and have done well. And that works particularly well. I don't know, Karen, if you found the same thing. If you know, if there's a particular brand that you like and you kind of know the fit of that, it's less likely you're going to have to do a lot of returns. So that's another way, both at ThredUp and other places. If you know the fit of a particular company, then you're more likely to be able to be successful when you buy something.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Look, I know we've gone over the time a wee bit, but I just wanted to say thank you so much, Ginger. You are obviously a wealth of information. I think this has given everyone a really good taste of some things to consider about colors and body shape. And I love what you said about the inner essence. And if something doesn't work on your body, it's just that the fit model has a different shape and it's not about you. I mean, there were so many lovely insights in there. And I think we all owe it to ourselves to, have that our inner essence shine in what we wear, and to be comfortable as well. Like, I can't do heels anymore. I used to wear big, massive heels, and I just can't anymore. It's the comfort. So you're right. As we change, you can adapt your fashion or what you wear to suit that. But look, everyone, I encourage you, go check out Ginger's website. It's totalimageconsultants.com. I think that's right. As I say, there'll be links there to her YouTube and lots of articles. So if you've been inspired, do go and check out Ginger. Take advantage of the special offer with the color 50, I think it was, for the code to get your special offer with Ginger. But follow her anyway, because she's our resident vegan style queen, and really appreciate you. I can see lots of people saying they really enjoyed it. So thank you so much for turning up, everybody, and thank you very much, Ginger. Enjoy the rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Thanks, everyone, and bye for now.